Good afternoon, 6-4 Owl parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our math update. So for Math 6, that's Math 6, you guys are going to have a test on Monday on surface area volume and identifying some 3D shapes. That means that the study guide and practice problems for Math 6 are also due on Monday. After we finish up that test, we're going to start our ratio units, which will be a little easier than the geometry unit, hopefully, for them. I think it's an easier unit overall. All right. For Math 6 Plus, they just took their test yesterday. So we started ratios today, and we'll be continuing ratios into next week. On Thursday, they will be doing their practice problems for the beginning of the unit and their study guide on Friday for the beginning of the unit for ratios for Math 6 Plus. All right, have a great weekend.
Hi, Owl families. It's Mrs. Pedersen with your ELA update for the week. This week, we continued our work with Percy Jackson and focusing on how Percy is on our hero's journey with our end of unit assessment. We also completed our iReady diagnostic this week, and we just started Unit 2. Our focus on Unit 2 is going to be connecting some additional myths to the storyline in Percy Jackson. We're also going to learn about the key elements of mythology in the coming week. And we will continue reading Percy Jackson and focusing on his development as a character. Some other important news, you may see your child working on a sheet that looks like this. This is corrections for any reading check that your child would like to retake. Retakes can earn your child full credit back on any questions that they missed. If they fill out the form, they have to write out the question that they missed. They need to write out the correct answer, and they need to write the evidence that supports the correct answer. Lastly, they need to make sure that they're filling out the retake Google form in Google Classroom. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm also going to do the science updates this week. So Mr. O has tasked me with giving you science updates, and I'm going to let you know what you have coming up next week in science. All science classes are going to start focusing on states of matter, and they will also answer the essential question of what effect does heat have on matter. The standard is called Matter 2, and they will be spending about a week and a half on this standard. That's all from Ms. Pedersen and Mr. O.
All right, so we'll finalize with some social studies information. We started on Monday with our second unit of the first quarter. So we start with thinking like a historian, kind of basic introduction to history, maps, and the 5 themes of geography. Now we get into a unit that's called geography, which really is all about what does the Earth look like and why would humans want or not want to live there. So we've started talking about migration, early human migration out of Africa and around the world. We've talked about push and pull factors, what would push them away from an area or what might pull them into another area. We talked about Kennewick Man, one of the oldest skeletons that has been found in North America, and an interesting debate over the remains of Kennewick Man. And then today we're getting into talking a little bit more about what does the world look like. We're going to get into some notes of what are the different landforms and different waterways of the Earth, and what are advantages and disadvantages of living by those. What's an advantage of living in the mountains, and what would be a disadvantage of living in the mountains? What would be an advantage of living down in a river valley? But what kind of problems might come up living there? What choices humans have made over the course of history? We're going to continue that into next week, and geography runs all the way up until we track out in October. So it's a big, long unit on what does the world look like and why do people choose to live there. So if you have any questions or any concerns, let us know. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.